A very good evening to you. Welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk, a program where we highlight issues about Nigeria's democracy, our politics, and how we can actually move the country forward. My name is Ubong Usoro, and I'm welcoming you to tonight's edition where we're going to be looking at party politics, different political parties, and what are the plans, what are the dreams they have for Nigeria, and even has some of the plans they have, we interrogated with facts, with the courts we have on ground, and what is going on in Nigeria. And every day when I come on the show, I bring perspectives to issues. I bring about some of the talking headlines that Nigerians are actually talking about today on social media. I bring all of this to you before we get into our conversation. Tonight, the first conversation we'll be having, we're going to be talking to a chieftain of the Labour Party, the National Vice Chairman, North Central of the Labour Party, Comrade Ibrahim Idoko Otene, as we'll be looking at the Labour Party and how the party is doing in the North Central. And maybe later we'll also be having another conversation. But before we have these conversations, let's go for a short break. We'll be right back. All right, now, so let's go check out what is trending politically on social media, on the papers. I bring it to you every night. Let's check the first story we have for you tonight. The story says, just in, PDP zones 2027 presidential candidate to South. So the People's Democratic Party at the 102nd National Executive Committee meeting has resolved to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the South, while retaining the existing National Working Committee zoning formula for November elective position. So big news coming in from the People's Democratic Party. Another news we have for you tonight. Participate in continuous voter registration. Oyo urges residents. So the Oyo State government has called on residents of the state to come out en masse for registration in the ongoing continuous voter registration. Remember that INEC is broadening its database with registration, and INEC has been begging people, please go register. And I'm joining my voice to INEC now, right? You need to go register because your PVC is your power to vote and elect leaders that will be able to lead you well. We take the third story for tonight. Apologies for that technical hitch which we actually encountered. Let's take the third story for tonight. Breaking news. PDP NEC confirms Damagum as substantive national chairman. So the People's Democratic Party has officially confirmed Umar Damagum as a substantive national chairman of the party. A big story there for the People's Democratic Party. All right. So we'll take another story. Voters registration to end in August 2026, INEC. So the Independent National Electoral Commission has confirmed that the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise will run for a full year and is scheduled to end on August 30th, 2026. So you have a year to register. Trust me, when it gets to August, you're going to see a lot of persons get to start registering. You have a full year, so make sure you get to INEC registration points, INEC offices, and all the other registration points. Get your get yourself registered, get your details taken, and get to register so you could get your PVCs on time. That's the permanent voter card. All right. So tonight on the program, we will be talking to a stakeholder and a party leader about what is happening with the Labour Party, especially in the North Central. We have joining us live on Zoom, we'll be having Comrade Ibrahim Idoko Otene, who is the National Vice Chairman of the Labour Party North Central. A very good evening to you, Comrade.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your station this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How are you doing? And how is Makurdi?
Well, I'm doing fine. Thank you. Makurdi is doing great. Everything seems to be calm, except, of course, as usual, as we all know, when elections begin to approach, the political environment begins to get heated up. And that is what is happening in Benue, particularly, and Makurdi. And we are getting set for all that will come with it. And we are preparing.
Yeah, I'm tempted to start by asking you about what is going on, because news, a lot of news we're hearing from Makurdi about lawmakers, the House of Representatives and all of that, but that's not now. Maybe before we end the show. Let's start on this note. How's the Labour Party doing in Makurdi, in Benue State specifically, before I even generalize it to the North Central, which you chair that particular geopolitical zone for your party?
Well, Labour Party, we are doing very fine, generally speaking. Labour Party, as you know, in the Nigerian political space is considered as the beautiful bride. Our story started long ago, but we became very visible during the 2023 general election. Although even before then, here in Benue, Labour Party has been winning election. We have a very stable party structure, Labour Party in Benue State particularly. And we have been building on that structure even before the 2023 general election. We have been winning elections, House of Rep, House of Assembly. Even in the local government election, Labour Party has remained outstanding, have won local government elections even before now. In the 2012, Benue State conducted local government election. So Labour Party is alive and kicking in Benue State. By 2023, we have become the beautiful bride in Nigeria and Benue State in particular. We were able to pull a lot of surprises in the course of the election. We were able to win, talking about the presidential election, we were able to put up a very good fight, a very good show. And I can tell you from the result we have, Labour Party won the presidential election down here. And we were able to win some other House of Assembly election. One House of Assembly election, and then we're able to put up a good show, generally speaking. So Labour Party in Benue State is alive and doing very well, and we are building on that successes until suddenly we were hit with internal crisis, which we are working on, which the party leadership at the national is working on to sort out. To be fair and be sincere to our viewers, yes, the internal crisis has really slowed us down. It didn't stop us. It has slowed us down. But I can tell you that the moment all the air concerning that misunderstanding is clear, I can assure you Labour Party, not just in Benue State, but in Nigeria, will once again take a position as the leading opposition party in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, so there are questions about your legitimacy. There are questions about the legitimacy of your national chairman, Julius Abure, which you follow. Of course, I know you know that there's a national chairman also of the Labour Party. So I decided to call the both parties national chairman, and all of that. You know, can you walk us through what is the position of the caucus of the party in the North Central concerning the leadership tussle between Barrister Julius Abure and Senator?
Well, frankly speaking, in the North Central, we don't believe there is a faction in Labour Party. Why is it so? The other person claiming to be the interim chairman of Labour Party, which is Senator Nenadi, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of the leadership of Labour Party in the North Central, she is not even a member of Labour Party. What we know.
Those are heavy allegations. But we've seen. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
Yes,
Let me allow you to conclude your
this is what we know. This is what we know. Senator Nenadi Usman was part of the Obedient movement that joined in the Labour Party campaign in the 2023 general election. And I can tell you that among those that joined the campaign during the 2023 general election, who identified themselves as obedient, I can tell you that most of them, 90% of them, refused to be identified and recognized as Labour Party members. And I'm telling you categorically that Nenadi fall in that category, because this is, we know for a fact that she is a member of PDP. And as I speak to you now, I challenge all concerned, anybody that think otherwise, I challenge Nenadi and anybody that think otherwise to show us Nenadi resignation letter from PDP and Nenadi register, our Labour Party register in Kaduna in her ward, where she has been captured as a member of Labour Party. That said, that disqualify her from being a member of Labour Party. You cannot be a member of two political parties at the same time. Being a member of the Obedient movement does not automatically qualify you to be a member of Labour Party. That said, Abure, as we know, Barrister Julius Abure, is the authentic national chairman of Labour Party. And this is why there was a convention in Nnewi in February, around March 27 in Nnewi, that produced Julius Abure and other members of the National Working Committee as the leaders of Labour Party. That is where I came in. I was also elected in that convention at Nnewi. So, going by our party constitution and even by every other bylaws that support party politics in Nigeria, the Nnewi convention remained legal and remains standing as the only recognized leadership. The Nnewi Convention has produced the only recognized leadership of Labour Party. Any other word, any other thing that other people are pumping out, are pushing out to claim, the Labour Party constitution does not recognize that. We want interim National Working Committee.
Yeah, Chairman. I'd like to ask now. The Labour Party is very popular, close to the 2023 general elections. We had a lot of persons going into the Labour Party, and people have mentioned that movement was as a result of the Peter Obi's factor, that the Labour Party itself could not have amounted to having so many Nigerians, so many people coming into your party. What's your argument about that? That's on one side. And the other question I want to ask is Peter Obi still a member of your party?
I think that last question, that latter question, is best directed to Peter Obi.
No, you have the data, you have the records of members of your party. Yeah. So, as the national vice chairman of the party, you could help us. Is Peter Obi a member of the Labour Party?
Well, like I said, that question is best directed to him, because he will tell you today that he's a member of Labour Party, and tomorrow he is telling you clearly that he's also in the coalition. And we know that the political party that is driving that coalition is ADC. And our constitution does not accept in any way someone being in two political parties at the same time. I think that could answer your question very clearly.
So is there no anti-party activities and your constitution? I know, and there's a little I've seen. I know that your constitution is something about anti-party. So what are you doing about that?
Well, the party, the Labour Party is the beautiful bride, and I can tell you that we have, in our own little way, because we understand that we are grooming a bride that will attract the Nigerian people, that the Nigerian people will fall in love with. We have been very careful and very considerate in swinging the hammer, if I may. We are very considerate. But if you will recollect, there was a time that the party leadership made bold to say that they are giving Peter Obi 48 hours to decide if he wants to be a member of Labour Party or otherwise. And as I speak to you, he has not come out to say that he is not a member of Labour Party, but keep insisting keep insisting as that he's in the coalition being driven by ADC has also disqualified him automatically by Labour Party constitution, not being a member of Labour Party. You cannot be in ADC in a coalition and then still claim you are in Labour Party. The Labour Party constitution does not accept that.
All right, so I asked a question earlier. The first question I asked was, it seems the Labour Party became very popular because of the person of Peter Obi. Is that what happened in 2023? The Peter Obi factor, and with all of these issues, if Peter Obi decides to leave the Labour Party tomorrow, can the Labour Party make headway in the 2027 general elections?
Absolutely. Let me say this. Let me appreciate the role Peter Obi and every other person play to drive our successes in the 2023 general election. Peter Obi is a benefactor. I insist, I say this with all sense of responsibility. Peter Obi is a benefactor of a movement that came before 2023. Because the Nigerian people, the mass of the Nigerians, we are getting tired with the recycled leadership that we have been having over the years. And Peter Obi seems to be a fresh air, a fresh breath to the status quo. And the entire Nigerians, get this clear, entire Nigeria, the entirety of Nigeria rally around Peter Obi under the platform of Labour Party as a symbol of showcasing or projecting a fresh breath into our political system. So he's a beneficiary of that movement, equally as well as Labour Party, who also is a beneficiary as a political party, who also a beneficiary of that movement of desiring a fresh air into our political status quo. I think that is what played out in the 2023 general election. To claim that it is because of a particular or singular person that brought about that huge success, I think is to defraud the Nigerian people, is to insult the sensitivity of Nigerians that played a very significant role in achieving that successes. So I think that will make that have made my point clear to that regard.
All right, so you are leading your party. You are looking at the affairs of your party in Benue, in Kwara, in Nasarawa State, in Niger, in Plateau, and even the FCT. Can you walk us around some of the programs that you've instituted as the national vice chairman of your party, looking at how your party could win more votes and win the hearts of Nigerians in this geopolitical zone?
Yeah, like you see, you point out earlier that Labour Party is not in isolation, seeing the kind of crisis that is going on in most of the political parties in Nigeria. That has slowed us down, and I can tell you, the moment the air is clear, you will see us coming very, very strong. Now that said, before Labour Party has been working, there is a directorate that was created in Labour Party that is called Directorate of Mobilization and Integration, and we were doing exceptionally very well with that directorate. We have a national directorate, we have state directorate, we have zonal directorate, and we have been working closely with the leadership of that directorate as a party structure, because there is a need to differentiate a party structure, support group, and some other bodies that are coming to help in building a party to the desire of the leadership of the party. Now, we have been working closely with that directorate. We have also been working closely with the diaspora directorate to rebuild, to also attract newcomers into Labour Party. And I can tell you, so far so good. We have been able to achieve so much, especially in the North Central. I've been in touch with my people, with my chairman in the local government. Not quite long ago, some of the state we launched about some few months ago, we launched all the state directorate, and it was a huge success. We were able to appoint state directorate to be able to mobilize and to guide that particular directorate. And some states in the North Central are also been able to also inaugurate the local government directorate. The plan is to inaugurate the state directorate, inaugurate the local government directorate, then we go ahead and inaugurate the ward directorate. We are still working very hard on that, and I can tell you that by the time the coast is clear and every other doubt about the leadership of Labour Party is clear, you can begin to hear us loud and clear. I will present Labour Party once again as the beautiful bride for Nigerians. Thank you.
Right, so what alternative are you offering as members of the Labour Party? I'm talking about strategy. I'm talking about bringing out ideas that could compete with what the present administration is doing. So just some weeks ago, we saw your chairman of the Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure. We saw him in Abuja with the FCT minister, and people raised questions. Why would the FCT minister be meeting with the chairman of the Labour Party? Is that not suggesting some kind of going into some partnership that may be at the detriment of your party? Are you concerned about that? And what is your party doing so that more people can come to your party? Because we see a lot of your lawmakers, a lot of people that were elected on the platform of your party, they are leaving your party. Are you not also bothered about that?
Well, I'm not bothered seeing my national chairman shaking hands with His Excellency Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. Moreover, he's a citizen of Abuja. He's based our office, our activities. He's residing in Abuja. I see nothing wrong if he decides to pay a visit to a sitting minister of Abuja, for God's sake. Why should that be an issue? Look, we are politicking, please. We are not at war. And beside politics, I think we should also have friends to interact with and to share ideas with. And if he happens to get who he happens to be a resident of Abuja, by the way, and he happens to see something maybe not satisfied with, I think with his position, with the position he holds, the national chairman of Labour Party, I think he reserved the right to visit the FCT minister and share his opinion, share his ideas about how best to run the FCT. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I think if he has taken that step...
Yeah, the members of your party leaving, you may just want to add to that. People leaving your party.
Yeah, people leaving my party. You see, politics in Nigeria, let us get this clear. Politics in Nigeria is funny. It's funny because you and I and the viewers will agree with me that most of our politicians seems to like party ideology. Don't want to walk and run with party ideology. All of them are working for their survival. It is not just only Labour Party that seems to be hit with defection. It cut across all political parties, and we all know why. Everybody is trying to play safe. Everybody wants to identify with the ruling government so that they will secure their seat, which is a very unfortunate development. We expect people to build their political legacy on ideas and the ideology of the political party they represent. Now, this is what is more of concern. I believe there are laws that have been put in place to safeguard political party and members of our party who have been elected under a particular platform for defecting. You know, all these things were put in check to help grow our democracy. But what do we see today? The lawmakers that made this law are the ones breaking them. I think we all should be concerned instead of celebrating and thinking that it is hitting a particular political party. Nigerians should be concerned, and Nigerians should start asking questions, because this is not the way to develop and grow our democracy.
All right, so still talking to Comrade Ibrahim Idoko Otene, who is the National Vice Chairman of the Labour Party for the North Central, as we look at the Labour Party and how the party is doing in the North Central. There are questions about party funding. How are you funding your party in the North Central? Who funds the party? Those are some questions Nigerians want to ask.
Yeah, we want to ask, you know, party, the way it is, you know, so that party can exercise some level of independence. Party is built in such a way that membership, the members pay some certain dues, to the cover of the party to use in funding the party. For instance, in Labour Party, we are to pay 100 naira every month to sustain and fund our party. That is another way of raising fund for our party. Another way of raising fund for our party is that people are allowed to make free will donation to the party. And I can tell you, we have been getting such free will donation. It has been helping us to sustain the party. And another way that party also must sustain itself is that when you have elected members, it is expected that the elected members use their goodwill to appreciate a platform that gave them visibility and help them win election, to also make some talking, to give some talking support to that platform. Those are the way and manner we have been sustaining and funding our political party. There are various ways, but these are the few I can let you know. And in that direction, I can tell you we are healthy. Labour Party is doing well. Our members have been very patriotic. They have been very strong. And some of them have been committed to paying their monthly dues. And we are doing good. We are managing ourselves. And that is how party should be run. Thank you.
All right, so stay with us, Comrade Ibrahim Utene. We are going to come back to you, but let's go for a short break. If you're just joining us, this is Big Talk on Global Television. My name is Ubong Usoro. This is a program where we highlight national issues about Nigeria. We'll try to bring solutions. We speak with experts, politicians. What is the way forward for our country, Nigeria? A country so blessed, but a lot of issues. But people will say, politicians will say, there are issues everywhere. And tonight, we are looking at the Labour Party and how the party is doing in the North Central. And we're speaking to the National Vice Chairman of the Labour Party, Comrade Ibrahim Utene, who is joining us from Makurdi about the conversation that we have about the Labour Party and how the party is actually doing at this moment. All right, so that's what we're trying to do today. And before we went on that break, every day when I come on the show, I bring perspective to issues. And some of the issues that we've looked at today, we've seen that the PDP, as the People's Democratic Party today, confirmed that Damagum as the substantive chairman of the party and other issues around Nigeria. Okay, so let's bring back Dago on the program as we try to make sense of the discussion. All right, welcome back. So we're still talking about your party. Let's look into the future. What are you seeing for your party in 2027? Do you have a presidential candidate in mind? Is Peter Obi still the flag bearer? Or is he the anointed flag bearer of your party? Maybe you'll find a way of settling all of the difficulties. Or is it open? I saw the national youth leader of your party declaring that he wants to contest in the 2027 general election. Or are you going to sell forms, or you do like some political parties that will just print one form and say this is it and that's it? What are the hopes going into 2027 for the Labour Party?
Well, Labour Party have maintained that presidential ticket is open for every qualified Nigerian, and we have no special or no anointed candidate for our presidential ticket. So if anybody is desiring, there are terms and conditions attached. Once you meet those terms and conditions, you are free as a Nigerian to pick our form. So we are leaving it open. There is no anointed candidate whatsoever. Those eras are gone. We intend to play the politics according to the rules of the game, according to how our constitution prescribes. So we don't have any particular candidate in mind. Our ticket is open to every and all qualified Nigerians. I think that is where we stand with that.
All right, so there are talks about Goodluck Jonathan coming to run elections in the platform of the PDP, but I've also seen some people say maybe you should go to the Labour Party. Let's talk about the fact that the Labour Party seems to give its ticket to people who are not originally members of the party, but who just come into the party. We saw that a lot with the last general elections, where people who were never members of the Labour Party just go into the party, and in 1 month they got ticket, and maybe that's why they didn't understand the rudiments of being in the party, and maybe that's why they are leaving. I'm not saying that's why they leave, but I like that you talk to that. A scenario where we see people who were never members of the Labour Party just come to the party, get tickets, run elections, and win. Are you going to have a process where you verify that people are actually members of your party and people are dedicated to your party before you give tickets, or before you give positions to such people going into the future?
You see, our constitution permits people to come into the party even at a very short time. We have a place a place where we in the constitution that says a person that has not meet the basic criteria and condition of the party of Labour Party to join can be given what we call a waiver, and that waiver is the sole responsibility of the national chairman. And if the national chairman consider your background and deems you fit and qualified to attain waiver, you can be given such waiver. That is what happened in 2023. But let me also say, I'm sharing a personal opinion. That development didn't work out fine with us. Like you rightly pointed out, most of the people that came within that rush hour and got our tickets nearly at a platter of gold. At the point, they started making caricature of our party, that we are special purpose vehicle. That is so unfair, because we were able to accommodate you where you have been rejected, and we were able to give them platform where they need, and some of them felt the best way to pay us back is to undermine the leadership of the party. And the reason, like you rightly pointed out, is because some of them don't understand the ideology and the philosophy behind the party. And we need to correct that this time around. We need to correct that going forward 2027. We need to start, and we are developing a process where we reward loyal party members against this last minute 11-hour rush to just pick a ticket and use the platform as a special purpose party. The party may not so much tolerate that. I'm saying this now so that in the event you have interest in contesting election, it is better that you begin to take your stand now and choose the platform of Labour Party, so that you can be in the foundation process that we are trying to build, so that you can be rewarded the right time.
All right,
Yes.
comrade. Let's talk about your party. Is your party a major opposition party in Nigeria as of today? Because we saw your party come with a lot of energy. So we're thinking that your party will be one of the leading opposition party. But we have the PDP as an opposition party. Is the Labour Party a leading opposition party in Nigeria as of today? Then I'd like to ask another question. How long have you been in the Labour Party? Because I've heard talks about your chairman that has been in the party for more than 20 years, and some people say we've been here for more than 15 years. Is that something that is considered when positions in the Labour Party are given, when people aspire to be voted into a position like yourself as the national vice chairman for the North Central?
Yeah, like I told you, the constitution allowed that you must be a member of Labour Party for a certain number of years to qualify you to hold a sensitive position or a leadership position. That said, there are also room for waiver. Okay, as if you are asking me personally, I have been a member of Labour Party way back in 2010 when I joined Labour Party with the intent to contest as a member of House of Assembly in my constituency. But that didn't go down well. After which I now fully joined the structure and the leadership of the party in helping to build the structure of the party in Benue State. I started as an honorary member and then worked through the ranks to become the financial secretary, become also the acting state secretary of the party, and then eventually also one time I was even the acting publicity secretary of the party in the state before I now rose to become the state chairman of Labour Party in Benue State, and then again I now became the national vice chairman North Central in the Inewi convention. So you can see I have a history of party loyalty, party consistency, growing up within the ranks. So I appreciate leadership, I appreciate authority, I appreciate consistency, and that is why I am one of those that believe that party loyalty, party faithfulness, party members that are consistent should be rewarded when the time comes for their consistency and commitment in the development of the party.
There's a lot of talks now about political party. You just mentioned you don't have ideologies. What are the ideologies of the Labour Party?
You see, Labour Party was built on the ideology of social welfareism, okay, where people with little means can have a platform to exercise their ambition, you know, to be part of the leadership in the country. That is basically the ideology of Labour Party, and then it was also built with the spirit of unionism. Okay, so that we can capture those disenfranchised people that have served our country faithfully, and they are looking after which they are looking for a platform to exercise themselves. And I think we want to sustain that spirit, and that is why I can tell you, when you go through the Labour Party form cells and the rest, without being immodest, we are one of the cheapest platforms when you come to obtain your form among the three big political parties in Nigeria. And we give a lot of people consideration. You know, we give people with disability consideration. We give women consideration. Women don't pay for form in Labour Party. People with disability don't pay for form. And we created, we are working also, as I speak to you, in having a program where we can accommodate our youngsters, our youth, to have a platform, a cheap platform like Labour Party to exercise themselves in our political landscape. We are working hard to make Labour Party all accommodating, all inclusive, even to the lowest in the society. That is what we are working on.
Labour Party taking over. We've seen a lot of talks about the coalition taking over, that people are coming in, and a lot of maybe a new political wave that is going to overthrow all other political parties. Are you thinking about joining the coalition, or maybe the Labour Party joining the coalition? Maybe I should also ask, have you been invited to the coalition meeting, and what was your reply when you were invited?
Yeah, in the initially Labour Party was invited, but we came out with a statement to that effect that Labour Party is not interested in coalition. We want to run it alone, and this is why. I think sometimes building a strong institution, which is what Labour Party is doing. We are trying to build a very strong institution, a very strong political party that does not necessarily depend on individual to soar, to succeed. To be able to build that strong institution, you must not win immediately. Please let us get that right. If it means Labour Party in the 2027 election will rather sit back and build a structure that can subsequently build a structure and an institution, very strong institution that will be attractive to the common Nigeria to fly their aspiration, to achieve their aspiration in our politics. We are willing to do that. We are willing to take our time and build a structure. So we are not in a hurry. And Labour Party is not interested in coalition. We don't intend such a laudable political party to be swallowed by a coalition that you and I can see that seems to lack direction as we speak. So why will we allow that? Labour Party as it stands alone is even bigger than the coalition. So why will we want to go to a coalition that we are even bigger than? So we will remain and we will build our party. And if in the event,
a lot of people contest the fact that the Labour Party is bigger than the coalition. The coalition has people like former Senate President David Mark, former Vice President.
That is the problem. That is the problem.
We know
that is the problem, sir.
It's tentacle of political.
That is the problem. I told you that Labour Party,
Senator Aminu Tambuwal. I'm just mentioning some names. Former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, and the rest.
That is the problem. That is the problem. We are building. Labour Party is building. Yes, the Labour Party is building an institution. We are an institution, and that is why I told you that we don't depend on big names in the polity to decide our fate. A
lot of people won elections because of the wave of Peter Obi at the time. A big name, if you say.
I think I've corrected, please sir, I think I've corrected that impression. The wave that happened in the 2023 election was because Nigerians were tired of the status quo. All of us, I say it's an insult to the sensitivity of the Nigerians that played significant role in that 2023 rush, in that 2023 tsunami, if I may, in that 2023 to narrow it to just the presence of one man. Look, a lot of Nigeria, both at home and diaspora, who got tired with the status quo, decided to rally around Labour Party and a particular candidate.
Decided to rally around a particular candidate that was making wave who chose Labour Party. Was that not what happened, sir?
That is it. That is it. Yeah, because we wanted the Nigerian people. I keep insisting, the Nigerian people wish a status quo change and decided to rally around somebody. So all of them fell into Labour Party. They supported the candidate of Labour Party, whom, as at that time, Nigerians seeing that he doesn't belong to the status quo. I don't want to go into it. This is a public business. There are things that also happen, the role that some of us critically played to bring about that successes that I don't want to start putting them in the public domain. So I can tell you that it was a Nigerian project. I'm telling you this story. It was a Nigerian project. And if you some people have alluded to the fact that it was also an offshoot of the NSAS protests, and then some people benefited from it. Okay, so we can say so much about that, but I just want to leave it at that. But I can tell you, and let me use this opportunity to thank Nigerians and congratulate Nigerians that came out in mass to support Labour Party and our candidate that period to see if we can change the status quo. Nigerians gave it their best shot, and unfortunately, here we are today.
All right, still wanting to ask you, you have a senator in the FCT, and the law permits just a senator in the FCT at the moment. The question I'd like to ask is that Senator Ireti Kingibe, is she still a member of the Labour Party? I asked about Peter Obi, and you said I should ask him. As the national vice chairman of the party, is there no record of members of your party that you are privy to?
Yeah, you see that on record. I told you earlier that because we are the beautiful bride, okay, and we know that we are building something for the future. Sometimes we don't want to we don't want to sling the big hammer. We tolerate a lot, even when people are engaged in anti-party, which is against our constitution. We try to give them long road to reconsider. Okay, we like to give them long road to reconsider what they are doing. But the fact still remains, and I maintain, as long as you have identified with another political party, you cease immediately being a member of Labour Party. So if in any way, I challenge you to ask her, if in any way she has identified with any other political party besides Labour Party, I can assure you that she's no longer a member of Labour Party.
All right, so let's look at this some of these states before I allow you go. As a last set of questions, in Benue, I'll be asking the questions one after the other. In Benue, how's the Labour Party doing? You could just give me a 1-2 answer. In Benue, maybe Benue and Kogi, take two at a time. How's the Labour Party doing in those states?
Yeah. No, I can tell you we are doing very fine. We are rebuilding. I must say this: we are rebuilding. A lot has happened. There was a shock wave after what has happened to Ross. There was a shock wave because of argument and here and there, which is normal in political setting. When there are election after election, there is naturally going to be a shock wave, and I can tell you, Labour Party is not exceptional. We experienced that shock wave, and we have taken stock, and we are rebuilding. And we are rebuilding for better. When I say we are rebuilding for better, is because we are trying to build a party that is structurally based, that is institutionally based, that is not dependent on names or one person to steer her affair, or it is to depend on if it were not Mr. XYZ, where Labour Party couldn't have made such a progress. That is the kind of Labour Party we want to be. We are building a Labour Party that will be a collective responsibility and collectively accepted by all Nigerians, so that we can use that platform to change the story of Nigeria. That is what we are doing. I just like to highlight things in all of these states
now. I mean, Benue, where you are, we know there's been a lot of attacks and bandits. As a Labour Party issued statements. What are you doing about that? Is there a policy that you think can help the states as a shadow round of now? Then in Kogi State, we know the APC seem to have captured the states with Governor Yaya Bello, who handed over to Governor Ododo. What incursion are you making into the states politically? That's my question. But in Benue, you could talk about some of the politics in Benue, because you are there, of course, so you see all of the things going on, even with the House of Assembly. What is going on in Benue House of Assembly from the Labour Party's perspective? What are you saying?
This is the trouble some of us have been highlighting about the politics that is being played out, because institutions are not given their place to play their role. Instead, individuals are elevated beyond institutions. That is unfortunate in our democratic experience. We all understand right from our social studies that there is separation of power between among the executive, among the legislators, and among the legislative arm of government, the judiciary arm of government. But what do we see today? The executive arm of government interfering with the job description, with the activities of the legislators, of the legislative arm, and the judiciary arm. This is not auguring well for our democracy, and we need to begin to build institution where the principle of division of power is upheld and protected generously. The interference of the executive, this is what is happening in Benue. Unfortunately, there is an interference by the executive in the affairs of the legislative arm of government, at the same time in the judiciary arm of government, which are supposed to be independent. And this is being cheered by Nigeria because, or maybe because of our ignorance, or is it the hangover of military rule that we have suffered, that Nigeria don't seem to appreciate, and those of our leaders that find themselves in position don't understand the dignity and the necessity to separate those institutions and they will now want to interfere and twist the whole. It's not helping our democratic development. And I think Nigerians as a whole should frown against that. And frowning against that, our judiciary should be allowed to function as an arm of government independently. The same thing with our legislative arm and then the executive. This is not to say that there shouldn't be a collaboration for the benefit of the mass of the people. But when it becomes when the executive want to seize the legislative arm of government and the judiciary arm of government, we are doing great damage to our democracy. It should be discouraged. And every Democrat and every politician that of a good will, they should speak against that tendency. That is where I stand.
Yeah,
thank you.
There are questions about Akwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, and the FCC. But before we go now, we saw members of the Labour Party elected under the platform of the Labour Party in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. When subjects are being discussed, for instance, there was a time where there were properties like, some laws were brought in, and some Nigerians felt these laws were anti-people's law, and we didn't see people from the Labour Party protesting against that law. And people just ask, are they not just the same club of politicians? What makes it different? Because if the Labour Party says they are the alternative, why is it that we're not seeing your members at the forefront of opposing anti-people law or saying things against the government, bringing out statements against the government on the side of the masses? It seems we are not seeing it. As we close the show now, I'd just like to have your take on that.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's unfortunate when you see that playing out. Ordinarily, political parties should be guided by their philosophy and ideology, but unfortunately, it seems to be lacking that. It seems to be lacking that in our representative. But I hope that the new Labour Party that we are building we begin to impress on
somebody will just want to ask, how long will this building take, comrade?
Very soon, very soon.
So are we going to see people expelled from the Labour Party? Are you giving us your word?
Well, when you are involved in anti-party activities, and we have been saying and doing the Labour Party, if you look at what is happening in our political parties generally today, the Labour Party seems to be the one standing firm in telling her people when they got it wrong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Comrade Ibrahim Diko Otene, National Vice Chairman of the Labour Party, North Central. Thank you so much for talking to us on Global Television. We really do appreciate you. And we wish your party all the best, like we wish every other political party.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I look forward to engaging you again.
Thank you so much. And that's the size of our show for you tonight, people. Remember, Nigeria belongs to all of us. We must make sure, we must work hard to make sure that this country grows and this country develops and this country gets to that place where we are all proud to pick up the Nigerian passport anywhere in the world and say, yes, I am a Nigerian. And we know what we stand for. We stand for truth, we stand for unity, and we stand for success. My name is Ubong Usoro in Abuja, and I'm saying bye for now.